All right, guys. We are loaded up on the boat. We are ready to go. We're just waiting on some stragglers to get on here, and we're going to take off. We're going to go out. We're going to try to get some trout. Hopefully get a cobia. We brought a chum bag, so we're going to set up because pressure is on because we want some dinner tonight. We got some friends visiting from Texas right here.
Hi.
And this is Melody, and behind her is her husband, Ken, new husband. And pressure is on. We want some trout and a cobia for dinner. So we're gonna head out here in a minute and hopefully have some great footage for you. See ya. Pressure's on, like I said before. Leslie, my wife, who's right here, said we can't come in until we get dinner. Buddy, well, we're out of gas. And the gauge says we're not out of gas. So we're trying to figure out the problem. I'm going to show you a little bit here. You guys can see this. There's my gas fuel gauge, and it's showing fuel full. Well, I've been servicing. I had the motor serviced, and I had added fuel and kind of going back and forth adding fuel here and there, and it just kept showing full. I guess I really just haven't been paying attention that much, because the reason we know we're out of fuel is I took and got to the gas tank here, because the fuel tank, I thought, or we thought, that the pickup or something might not have been working. But I didn't have the appropriate tools to take the pickup tube off, but I was able to loosen the fill screws here and take that fill hose off. And then what we did is we pulled the supply line that goes to the motor coming from the tank off, and we put it in this hole and shoved it all the way down in there, and then we blew on it, and we couldn't hear the bubbles or anything. We pulled the hose back out, and it had gotten to the bottom of the tank, and it was bone dry. So we have a bad fuel gauge, or a unit here, and that's it right there. And that's not corrosion see on it, that's actually grease. When I put it on there, I greased it real good. So we have Fish Daddy Joel on his way, coming to save us. We just gave him a call, and he is going to get us some fuel, and we're just going to run this hose right here into the tank and get fuel to the new Suzuki, because she is very thirsty right now and we have nothing to give her to drink, and we're going to be heading back in. So we are stranded at the moment, but we have cocktails, food, water, and beautiful scenery. So nothing too awful bad. As you can see, everybody is not that distressed. So, but there are some people behind us fishing, and their motor works and ours does not. So we're a little jealous. But stay tuned for the dramatic rescue. All right, guys, we're still here. It's 4:17, and I called Joel like 19 minutes ago. And look at this. How is this for service? Fish Daddy Joe is our savior. And actually, his YouTube channel is Fish Daddy Joe Florida Adventures. So you guys got to check it out, especially since he's saving us and bailing us out now. That's what's so awesome about the water, man. You when somebody calls, you always do everything you can to help them out. And that's what Joel's doing right now. He's bringing us gas. Stopped whatever he was doing right then and there. He had some projects going on, and he said, "Yeah, man, I'm on my way." So here he comes. Just getting it in the pontoon. All right. And we are making a video out of this because we ran out of gas, and Joel, when I called him, said, are you just trying to make another YouTube video? Which we are taking advantage of it, but here he is. Here's our hero. Fish Daddy Joe, Florida Adventures. Right here.
For the victory lap though.
So he's our savior.
Whoa, they ain't never seen nothing like this before. Lit the room when I came through the front door. Ask me if I should overcome, what for? Train in the trees, please pardon my sycamore. Touch burning sands, cross lands and stormy shore seasons.
Alright guys, we're gonna get the gas and stay tuned.
Champions and chain no fear.
Okay guys, we made it back.
Switch gears, the hitters in the rear. And the blood, sweat and tears and my goal so near. I see my victory so clear.
We made it to the house here. It's our place coming up right here. We're gonna anchor up and head to the marina and get this thing fixed. I don't know where the puppies are. They should be headed out here soon to bark at us. I think so. Fish Daddy Joe's Adventures, our hero right there. All right, it's time to go to the marina and get this stuff fixed. All right, guys, we are fixing the problem. What you can see here is it's our last 5 gallons of gas going in. We had to get a new sending unit, but we weren't quite sure how much fuel was in this 2001 Key Largo. So we just had to, the tank was bone dry. You can see he's got the light in there. It's filling up now. So this particular boat, it had a 65 gallon tank is what we're leaning towards. But the sending unit actually shorted out. It was just reading full nonstop no matter what I did. And over time, that's kind of what confused me, I guess, and I wasn't paying attention. But we got the problem fixed. New sending unit. We're back home safe. We're having cocktails. We're fixing the problem. Special thanks again to Fish Daddy Joe, Florida. Fish Daddy Joe, Florida Charters. Is that what it was? Sorry, Joel. Sorry, Joel. But it's problem. The problem's fixed. No, it's Fish Daddy Joe, Florida Adventures. That's what it is. Sorry, Joel. We got it. Fish Daddy Joe, Florida Adventures. Spot on. Like 25 minutes from the call, he had fuel, brought it out to us, and rescued us right away. So, thanks, man. But here we are, guys. The sun's getting ready to go down. The bushwhacker's home safe. We did get some trout. We got a couple. And we broke out some old lobster tails from last year in lobster season. We're getting ready to eat and have some food. So, thanks, guys. Well, it's the next day now. We did do some fishing yesterday. It was tough fishing. Really windy, 15-20 knot winds. And pretty strong current. But we were able to put some trout in the cooler. I had a big cobia on, and I lost him. He was just too big for the trout rod, 10-pound test. He was probably 45 inches. But the reason I want to talk to you today is I'm getting ready to go to work. I'm a fireman. It's my shift today. But on my way into work, I just kind of wanted to finish up about what we dealt with this weekend. With the breakdown. So what kind of happened, you know, with the fuel thing. I mean, I don't necessarily know if it could have been prevented, but two things I feel like that I could have done better, especially for having experience on the water like I do. I'm kind of in the process of redoing the boat. One of the things that I was going to be redoing and redoing is I always have like a little supply of tools. And the tools, I mean, nothing great. Like I'll go to Walmart or I'll go to Harbor Freight and I'll get the, you know, adjustable wrench, maybe a small one and a big one. I'll get the, you know, the screwdrivers that they have that you know, you could pull it out. It has the big Phillips, the small Phillips, and the flathead, the same thing on each side. And I think it has like a 5/16 if you pull that out, little socket thing that you could use on the screwdriver. And I think it's a 1/4 inch on the other side. So I'll have that, maybe an array of zip ties, or usually a razor blade. And I'm sure there's some other stuff that I'm forgetting, but you know, just a wrench in itself, just to help fix something minor on the water that could get you going again, whether it's a, you know, a squeeze ball. Like a lot of times those will go bad. I always have an extra one of them, but just be ready for all that stuff. And I wasn't prepared because the stuff that I had on my boat, it was a little over a year old. It was cheap, so it started getting real rusty. So I had taken it out and I just hadn't replaced it yet. And what I'll do with those cheap tools also is I'll throw them in a gallon Ziploc bag, and I'll spray some WD-40 or Corrosion X or even tire foam in there, just to keep them from, you know, the corrosion from happening. So that's one thing that I did that I just don't feel, I feel like I dropped the ball. The second thing in with the gas gauge, it's a 65-gallon tank. And when I first put that sending unit in with the new motor and all that stuff, the sending unit before at times was kind of funky. Like, I don't think I ever really had a full tank in that boat. And I never really looked to check it. But I would add gas here and there, and I filled it up at one point, and just in the process of adding here and there, I think whatever I did have in there slowly deteriorated, but my gauge just read full all the time, and that's the mistake I made. That wasn't right. Like that gauge, that little thing, like, man, am I just topping it off all the time? Whenever you get a hunch or anything that you could be concerned about your vessel, investigate it. Look at it. I should have taken the cap off, pulled the sending unit off, and literally physically looked at the amount of fuel that I have in reference to the gauge. And those gauges sometimes, you know, because they have like a swing arm in them, the sending unit, that's the time to adjust it. Let it get to a half a tank and adjust that float that goes up and down there so you can get a real good idea. Like, I know now, when I have 3 bars left on my fuel gauge, I have 20 gallons left in that tank. Because I filled it up a little bit, looked at it, filled it up a little bit, just kept eyeballing it. So now I know, and that's a good thing to know and pay attention. So there's a couple of things I wanted to go. We had a good time. We caught some fish. We had a great dinner last night. We took it up to the Drunken Mullet and had them cook our catch for us. So good food, and had a great time last night with some friends. But just wanted to go over with that. Once again, special thanks to Fish Daddy Joe, Florida Adventures, my good buddy Joel Gant, because he made that little situation where we were stranded very short and sweet, and it was not painful at all. So thanks, brother. You're a good friend, and you bailed us out. But I am here, guys. I'll give you a little shot of my Chariot here. But here's my Chariot. We got it pulled off to the side right now because we got a new station being built over there, and they just put new asphalt down. So this big old truck can't drive on that asphalt yet because it'll leave a dent from the tire tracks. But it's time to get to work. Got some shift work to do. Got a 24-hour shift, and get back on the water here in a couple days and get back down to the Keys here soon. Getting ready. We're starting to prepare for our trip down to the Keys by water in the small boat, in the Bushwhacker. And the good thing is we know the gas gauge is fixed. So thanks, guys. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I appreciate you guys watching, and I appreciate your patience with me, because I'm still learning and my videos are getting a little better each time, and I got more equipment coming. So thanks a lot. Have a great day, and God bless.